Somehow On Air-Deraan returned.
That is right. After crawling around in the AC system for about a grand total of 2 minutes, we returned to spring a trap on our former friends, but in return, you know full well that we are the ones who are gonna end up being shot.
Yes. That's how clone prisons work.
Yeah, everyone just gets shot and made into clone food.
Soylent clone.
Soylent Gree.
Gree, oh my god.
Yeah. I am joined by Freddy.
And I'm joined by Voita.
And together, with our powers combined, we are On Air-Deraan.
Somehow
we have returned again to your screens.
Again. Screens or ears?
Screes.
Is that a thing, scree?
It sounds like a thing. Let me look it up.
Oh my god!
Jamie, let me pull it up. You know, I'm joking, but I'm actually pulling it up.
No, you gotta you gotta call for Jocasta Nude to get it up.
Does it exist in the archives, Jocasta?
If it doesn't, it does not exist.
Well, bloody joke's on you, because it actually does not exist.
It does not.
Apparently not.
We should get to the point.
Another thing that doesn't exist is the relevance of screes. We are here to discuss the hidden enemy. What is the hidden enemy, Freddy?
It's episode 15.
16.
Is it?
Yeah.
I thought it was 15.
It's episode 16.
Oh, shit. Well, it's episode 16, or 15 if White is wrong, but it's 16. Our Star Wars The Clone Wars.
Season 1.
And this is episode 23 of our podcast. Mm-hmm. And I don't know what episode of the Clone Chronicle it is.
About 10-ish.
Yeah, but we are chronicling the Clone Wars. And this is the next episode of that.
Yeah, we're friggin' charting the lives of every important clone that's ever cloned.
Indeed, is ever cloned. Apparently, Scree is a space station hidden in the centre of a nebula created nearly a century before the proclamation of the New Order, and its location prevented its catching unwanted attention from the Galactic Empire. That's canon! Scree is canon.
Scree is canon. So are balls, as of bloody the box, or whatever it's called, the cube.
The cube. I think it
Which
is
one is it?
I think it is the box.
Yeah, it's not the square. Anyway.
We are going to start off this episode not with an extended tangent.
We've already had
that. Instead, we're going to be doing our Grand Admiral thoughts.
Which is our non-spoilery thoughts about this episode in case you need to catch up yourself.
And this episode is Hidden Enemy, to reiterate.
Yes.
After that, we'll be then going into Crochet Granite.
Which is just us speeding through the plot like a speeder bike.
Yeah, like all...
Was it BRC, BTC? BTS?
It's the Bark Speeder.
Bark Speeder.
Not BTS. It's not. It is not.
Yeah, the K-pop speeder. That appears in this episode. Twice, at least.
Whoa. And then... we'll be going into the nitty-gritty.
Where we look at the either big or small picture.
Depending on your personal preference.
Yes. Let's not get into that anymore.
Yeah, no more arguments on this podcast. Save that for later.
Yeah, where we talk about literally everything and anything that has something to do, or not, with
or
this
not,
episode.
mostly not.
Mostly not, but you know, it's a tangent of a tangent.
Yeah, but hopefully a tangent about this episode.
Yeah, if we make 3 tangents, we're back to the circle that they came from, you know?
And the circle is now complete.
Indeed. But not the run-through of our segments.
Because after that, we have Motto Rancisis,
where we discuss the motto of this episode, the moral of the story.
And it literally appears at the start of the episode, so we're going to see, does it make sense? Question mark. Exclamation mark, exclamation mark.
Whoa.
See some your expectations. And then we close our episode off with Light Side,
the Dark Side, and the one in the middle, the Bendu. My favourite podcast on the Citadel.
Yeah.
Segment, I mean.
Yeah, this segment of the Citadel.
Yeah.
And that, if you don't know, is when we go over a good thing, a bad thing, and something that we just thought was, it exists. And it just occurred to me, we're running through the segments as if people who aren't familiar with our podcast would get through the initial tangent. So if you are new here, hi, and I'll buy you some Jawa juice. That means I'm gonna murder some Jawas and put them in a Nutri blender and serve that to you. It's a delicacy in Dexter's Diner.
Yeah, the Jawas fed on nothing but the egg.
The egg. What do they call it in Jawaese?
Oh, I don't remember.
I forgot.
I used to know.
Yeah, somebody that I used to know. The egg.
Jimmy, let me pull it up.
Suka. That was a bit embarrassing. Just actually occurs to me. I know I said I wasn't going to make this joke, but is it bitch or is it mother?
It's bitch.
Oh, Suka. Sorry. Maybe we should actually get into this episode.
Yeah, let's talk about bloody hidden enemy. So far, the hidden enemy has turned out to be ourselves.
Yeah, we're ruining our podcast from the inside. So, what did you think of this episode? Not of the podcast, of Clone Wars.
Yeah, hidden enemy. I feel like it has gotten quite hyped up, not by a small part by you. As like one of the best single episodes in the series, if not the whole show.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was very good. I thought it was beautiful.
Indeed.
But I feel like the previous episode that we talked about did pretty much everything that this did, but better.
What, Trespass?
Yeah, Trespass I felt was even more self-contained, was even more beautiful, and like emotional perhaps.
Yeah.
While I did really like this episode.
I do have a criticism of this episode, surprisingly enough, considering how much I say I love it. I do love this episode, but there is, let's say, a B plot, or should I say a V plot, that doesn't need to be in the episode. And if that wasn't in the episode, then it would be top tier for me. But I do really like it. I gotta agree, it's beautiful. People do use this episode to say, "Oh, the animation's shit," and I'm like, actually, bruv, the animation in this episode is very good.
It's better than most episodes in this series so far, I would say.
Yeah.
Bar probably, definitely Trespass, and probably like a couple others.
I think Trespass is the best outdoor stuff we've seen so far in Clone Wars. And this is the best indoor stuff we've seen in Clone Wars.
That sounds very good.
So that's what I think so far.
And that's saying something, because Trespass came right after Defenders of Peace, which
when it was made.
No, I mean in this thing, which until the very next episode was the best outdoor stuff.
That's true. Yeah.
Right until Trespass happened.
Right until Trespass. Yeah.
But that's a good thing, I think.
Yeah, you want your show to steadily improve in quality, and we all know that Clone Wars definitely does.
Oh, yes.
Like, do you think it's unfair to say Season 1 looks like trash? When in my opinion, it doesn't look like trash. I know we're a broken record. We literally say that every podcast.
Yes, it's gotten to at least 3 or 4 of our light sides.
Yeah.
But
when we make the table, we'll see. That could be how we judge each season.
Yeah. How bloody rote our light sides and dark sides are.
Yeah, exactly. How rote at the heart. Is that what you mean? Rote?
Indeed.
Oof. But yeah, this episode's good. Mm-hmm. I really like this episode.
I would go as far as to call this episode great.
Yes.
In comparison to the already very good episodes that we've had.
Yes.
I would just maybe hold off on praising it to high heavens.
I'm gonna still do that because fuck you. I don't know.
Hey, that's fair. If you really love this episode, it is very good.
Yeah, but I do have criticism.
If your favorite episode is Rookies like mine, there are many things that can be said against it, and we have.
I think this episode takes the animation and visual thing from Rookies, it improves upon that, in my opinion.
Yes. But I think Rookie's biggest virtue is doing it first.
Yeah.
Which usually I don't necessarily like. This is a tangent, by the way. I'm very sorry.
Yeah, we're allowed to.
Yeah. like when people say that like A New Hope is by far the best Star Wars movie because it started all the trends, I usually really don't buy that, because like just because it's first doesn't make it best by any means.
What do you mean, best sci-fi movie or best Star Wars movie?
Best Star Wars movie.
Yeah. Unironically, A New Hope is actually very good. It is actually very good.
It is, but I say most of this, at least 2 films that come after it do the same things, but better.
I do think, though, that A New Hope is the best paced Star Wars movie there's ever been.
I
will die on that hill, actually.
I would actually make a big case for Force Awakens.
Well,
that's a story for another time.
Oh,
I didn't even realize that.
Yeah, Mas Kanata here. You got the glasses.
Anyway, let's not become our own hidden enemy again.
Yeah.
Let's not become our own sequel trilogy.
And let's talk about Crochet Granite, the plot.
Let's talk about the freaking plot of this episode, because it was pretty good.
Yes, basically this takes place just before the Clone Wars movie.
Literally, probably like hours.
A day.
Yeah.
Well, when it's nighttime at the end of this episode, that's the night before the Clone Wars movie.
That is quite probable.
Yeah, but it starts off like Anakin and Obi-Wan and the 501st and 212th. They're like preparing like this ambush against droids, but
surprise! You are actually getting ambushed.
Yeah, the droids knew the plan because so Obi-Wan and Anakin, they were in like the south and north tower skyscrapers, and the droids were meant to go like in between on patrol.
The Bendu,
yeah, and frick! They went into the skyscrapers and they just started wrecking shit. A lot of people die.
Mm-hmm. Anakin, Obi-Wan, and a couple of other clones just barely escape.
Yeah.
And while they do it, they tear off the head of a tactician droid who was there for reasons.
Yeah. Probably just leading.
Well, that's like the only time they ever do that, but sure.
Maybe that's why they don't anymore. Because, remember, this canonically, at the moment, is the first episode.
That is true. Chronologically, the first one that we see.
Yeah.
Maybe second ever, because I'm fairly sure there will be one.
In Cat and Mouse.
Probably.
Yeah.
But that's beside the point. As of now, it is the first one. And
this is on Christophsis, by the way.
Oh, yes.
Forgot to say that. This is on Christophsis, the crystalline city planet.
Yeah, literally, it's the same, let's say, week and the same planet as the beginning of Clone Wars, the movie.
Yeah.
And they bloody steal his head, and thanks to that, they figure out there's a hidden enemy.
Oh my god, there's a spy
in our midst.
There's an imposter. And very quickly, so like Obi-Wan and Anakin talk to Rex and Cody about all this, and like they find a what is it? Anakin and Obi-Wan said that they were going to go to the Separatist headquarters.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot why.
I don't remember. I think they don't say.
Yeah. No, it was after they figured out that there was a spy in... Like, R2 used all the terminals and found out there was a frequency coming out of the clone barracks.
I think that was after
it was left. After, yeah.
I don't know why they left.
Like, maybe they just left because they wanted answers.
Maybe they just went for...
Because it was, unironically, it was night, and they were like, I don't need sleep, I need answers. And so they left the clone base and went to the Separatist base.
Yeah, which they felt was a trap, but they were like, why not? It's going to be bad for them.
Spring the trap.
As Obi-Wan says in episode 3.
Yeah, and Rex and Cody, they find someone left their comlink on and were listening to the whole thing. So they like run out the comm center, and it's like, frick, there's a clone. And he's like running away and like, let's chase that guy.
But he hides in the mess hall, which is full of clones.
And the number one thing you need to learn about clones is that A, they all have the same shoe size, and B, they all look the same.
Yes, it's very imperative that they all have the same skin color, the same eye color.
Yeah, the same nose shape, the same mouth shape, the same chin.
Not necessarily the same hair color.
Yeah, because they can dye that. But usually, when they're born, it happens to be brown. Or, like, at least black.
Yeah.
Like, quite black.
Dark brown, black. Something like that.
Yeah, not blonde. I've never seen a blonde clone naturally. Like, Rex dyes his hair blonde. But there's never a blonde clone.
Even if it happened to be a female clone, like, that happens in, like, Marvel,
Yeah,
but it would still be, like, the same race as, for example, Jango Fett, the template of the clones.
You would think, yeah, you would definitely think that. As we know, Clone Wars doesn't do any canon-breaking thing like that. They don't whitewash clones. Like, I'm glad that they've kept the Maori heritage of all of Tamara Morrison in the visual depictions of all the clones in Clone Wars.
Indeed, it would be a very big shame if, for example, I'm being very hypothetical here.
Yeah, imagine.
It would never happen. If they made one of the clones Aryan, for example.
Yeah, like with blonde hair.
Yeah, so fucking Nordic right now.
Yeah, and like, instead of like dark brown eyes, it's just like straight up brown eyes.
Yeah.
It's like one step away from bloody blue eyes.
Yeah, blue eyes white clone.
Yeah, imagine. They'd never do that.
They would never do that.
Never.
If they did it, it would be the last thing they do,
Whoa, one could say that.
Yeah, the Omega to Django's Alpha.
Yeah.
But that would never happen.
Got me thinking like a Megaverse canon and stuff.
Oh no, God!
Cut that bit out, but
That's just Prince Shizor.
Ooh. Yeah, yeah.
Pheromones and stuff.
I forgot that. But anyway, as we know, that would never happen, and all the clones look the same. This is a big problem for Rex and Cody for figuring out who the spy is.
Yeah, but fortunately, they have alternate ways of finding out. Because R2's there for reasons.
Yeah, well, he's there because Anakin's there.
Yeah, true.
And R2 finds out, like, a signal was being transponded to somewhere.
Yeah, and it was from this sergeant's quarters.
Sergeant Slick's barracks. So therefore they know that
it's one of his
people is the spy.
And
so this is all the same night. This is the night after the attack.
Mm-hmm. And they bloody go and interrogate all of his people.
A lot of them. I can't. So you got you got Slick, who's a sergeant.
You have Chopper, who's like this a-hole veteran guy. Both.
A-hole. He's not really an a-hole.
He is much of an a-hole. We will discuss that a bit later.
Okay.
We also have Punch.
Punch. They don't say his name.
They don't, but he's there. Gus, maybe. But
no.
Gus is one of the other ones, I think.
Gus was at the start of the episode looking through some binoculars.
You also have Jester and Sketch.
And they went to... Sketch went to the mess hall. Jester loves cleaning his weapon.
Mm-hmm. God. I think Sketch got pretty banged up during the attack, so he had to stick around in the med bay.
No, that was...
Punch?
That was another one. Yeah, it might have been Punch.
It doesn't matter that
much.
much.
Well, no, it wasn't the one that punched the droid, because that guy died. Someone punches the droid at the start of this episode.
And in the movie. At least 2 clones punch droids.
Yeah, on the same planet within days.
Yes.
So isn't that funny?
Very funny.
But Chopper says he was in the mess hall when he wasn't at the start of the night. He was later.
Yeah.
But he was collecting droid fingers and making it into a little bracelet.
Yeah, which is against the rules.
Yeah, and they're like, Slick is like, oh my god, this guy, you're breaking one rule, you're gonna break the rest.
Yeah, but now that bloody his secret is out, Chopper is like, I don't even care. Yeah, I was up there bloody putting fingers on a string, but where were you, man?
Yeah.
Where were you? I saw you. Everyone went right and you went left, dude.
And Slick was like, it doesn't matter where I am. When the Jedi come back, there's hell to pay. You're gonna get strung up.
But you see, Rex is a smart boy.
Yeah, Rex is like, how did you know the Jedi were gone? And then Slick said the classic line, I really wish you hadn't noticed that, sir.
And he punches everyone out and legs it again.
Yeah, he's like, oh my god, where's he gone?
And then he pulls off the classic On Air-Deraan move of hiding in the AC ventilation shaft.
He stole that from us.
Yeah, he's, you know...
Well, Groundskeeper Willie in that episode. In, what was it? Sweet Seymour's kick-ass song.
I don't know, but I know that he coats himself in oil and he has ripping abs.
He's like, grease me up, woman. Yeah, that was a good episode. But so basically, Slick does that, but without the naked part.
But he is slick because of the oil,
and he runs away. So he's in the comms. Well, no. First, he blows up all of the. He blows up all the LEATs. He blows up all the ATTEs. Which is
probably why people needed the reinforcements in the movie.
Yeah, and also why we don't see them in the movie. So
there were a couple, but only after the reinforcements come. You see them in the background.
No, you see them in Teth, don't you?
No, I remember you pointing out how janky the animation was on them. But that was after the reinforcements come.
Yeah. But during the battle, that happens later. No to ATTs, because Slick blew them up, the bloody bastard.
Indeed, in a very good-looking scene.
Yeah.
And then he bloody hides somewhere.
He hides in the ventilators, like you said.
And Rex and Cody immediately notice him.
Yeah, like, he's gone up the ventilation shaft. And, like, Cody, like...
What's wrong with your face?
Cody does a little, like, chin-up thing. It's like, what does that mean? What does that mean, chin-up? You know, what was that from? That was from bloody Force Awakens. Han Solo does it, and Finn's up. What does that mean? What does that mean? But Rex, he knows. He's like,
Yeah. Okay, let me put the... Well, there was Cody.
No, Rex,
but
Cody puts his weapon.
Let me put my weapon down and do something while you leave... Well, you definitely leave this room, Rex.
They were having a conversation, a fake conversation, as if they think Slick has gone somewhere else, and Slick's there. Heh, I got him.
But they got him.
Yeah, because Slick, when Rex goes out of the door, in quotation marks, Cody turns his back, and Slick, like, goes out the shaft, and he, like, picks up the weapon and puts it to Cody's head, and he's like, mate, I took out the ammo!
Yeah.
Further confirmation that ammo is canon in Star Wars.
And it always was just as fuel.
Yeah, exactly. But so Slick, he wasn't able to kill Cody.
Nope. He was still quite capable for just a normal clone like everyone else, but you know.
Yeah.
You jump him once, they're gonna be ready.
You see a pretty cool punchy punch fight.
Yeah. It looked a little bit like... It didn't look that cool, to be honest.
No, but it was pretty like... what do you call that kind of fight?
I don't know.
Where they were like rolling on the ground.
Yeah, it was gritty. It wasn't too slick.
Oh.
But he did, to be honest, pull off some pretty cool like martial arts moves, like doing head scissors and grapples.
I thought it was cool. I thought it was well animated, one could say.
Okay, I changed my mind. It was cool.
And then they defeat Slick.
Yeah. Turns out, why was he doing this, Freddy?
Because he wanted freedom!
Yeah, if Christophsis was covered in nothing but dicks, and he had to suck each one of them for liberty, he would do it.
Yeah, no problemo. That's what Slick would say. If he had to sell out each and every one of his brothers...
to protect himself and some more of his brothers.
Yeah, he was saying they were enslaved. And they were... Oh, yeah, we forgot about the B-plot.
No, we didn't. We just did it this one first, because we can come back to the B-plot.
Oh, yeah.
Because it doesn't really matter when or if we do the B-plot, because it was completely pointless.
It was. So basically, Obi-Wan and Anakin are going to the Separatist base, their headquarters.
The Seppi base, as they call it.
That's and then they get there. No guards there. They get in, and then sexual... tension bold harpy is there.
Yeah, very much sexual tension. Like the very first thing she said, hello Obi-Wan my dear, and bloody Obi-Wan calls her my sweet.
Yeah.
What is this? Why is this happening?
I don't know, because it probably had to like explain why it happens like the very next day on Teth.
I guess.
Or maybe not the next day, but yeah, very quickly after.
But this already implied that they've already met, which
Well,
I guess
they
they
already
did
have.
in the 2003 series.
No, Anakin met her then. Obi-Wan told Anakin not to chase her. She was in a fighter, destroying the Republic fleet.
Yeah, well, then it explains nothing because it's the exact same exchange just earlier.
Yeah, kids are dumb. They won't notice.
Probably.
But they have a little fight. It turns out that I don't know why. Actually, was she like delaying them?
Probably, I don't know.
So Slick could blow everything up. I think it was so Slick would blow everything up.
Maybe, and then she just leaves.
Yeah, but she didn't leave because actually Obi-Wan and Anakin left, and then she went to General Loathsome, and he was like, "Prepare the attack tomorrow against the city.
Hold the Jedi off for as long as you can.
Because I'm gonna kidnap friggin' Jabba the Hutt's son."
Indeed. That's
She doesn't say that. But.
She says she needs to follow Count Dooku's master plan.
Indeed, and she does, evidently, because the movie happens.
Yeah, and she needs to communicate with Mr. Blue Shadow Virus, which we'll see next week.
Does that happen concurrently at the same time?
It happens in the Lego game.
We'll get onto the Lego game eventually.
We will, because I caught up with this episode's mission just before we did this.
So, well, concurrent thing would be like, what happens in the Lego game? What happens in the actual show?
Spoiler alert, I probably won't continue doing this because it's not interesting enough.
Fair enough. So, after Anakin and Obi-Wan get back, Anakin is like, "Slick, why did you betray your brothers?" And then Slick was like, typical Jedi response. It's like, "Check your privilege, Anakin." I keep dropping my phone. Check your privilege.
Yikes.
Yeah, then it ends.
Then it ends pretty unceremoniously. We don't really know Slick's fate.
Oh no, he gets put in the prison.
Well, but what then?
Well, not really spoilers, but like in Umbara, we see that clones who only like, what do you call it, like disobeying orders?
Insubordination?
Clones who are insubordinate can be shot.
Mm-hmm.
So if a clone's a traitor, they're gonna get shot. So
Soylent Green it is.
Soylent Slick.
Soylent Slick.
Slick Green.
Or, rather, probably, what do they call it? They call the thing rankweed. Yes, rank.
Rankweed, yeah.
Rank is what they eat, and rankweed is what they call each other, so they're probably going to get eaten.
What?
Yeah, rank is like a gooey thing that's like eaten. It's like their version of like the nondescript goop that people eat.
Right, quickly, let's get on to the nitty-gritty.
Yes.
And let's continue this conversation about food in Star Wars, because we do, for the first time, chronologically and canonically, see the food that the clones eat.
Yes, because you might remember seeing clones with like cutlery in their hands.
In episode 2.
In episode 2. But you might have forgotten that there's actually nothing in those plates.
There are empty plates. I remember as a child, I like visualized them eating like a burger and chips. I don't know why.
Maybe it's like a Hook situation. Remember in Hook?
What in Hook?
How I was gonna say Anakin and the Lost Boys. What's his face? Robin
Williams.
Robin Williams. Robin isn't his name. I was gonna say Robin Hood. What's his name?
Peter Pan.
Peter Pan. Yeah, Peter.
Yeah.
Yeah, Peter Pan, who's all adult and he forgot how to imagine things. He can see only like nothing in the plates. But when he like starts believing in wonder again, he like figures out that they're full of like ice cream and weird goopy things.
Yeah, I remember.
And they have like an imaginary food fight.
I remember because there's a shot where Tinkerbell gets covered in food. I'm like, why is that in a kids movie? Because it shouldn't be in a kids movie. I just say that.
Come on, it's not like it was like blue and orange.
I still don't think it's kind of weird.
Fair enough, but yes, food.
You see the food in the mess hall, and I like how we see the mess hall stuff because I mean they must exist.
Yeah, Like, I really like the humanizing of clones that happens in Clone Wars.
You see their barracks. You see they got weird pin-up girls posters.
Yeah.
Paper exists in Star Wars. Confirmed.
We don't know that it's paper.
Or we do know that Rex talks about, like, oh, do you think the spy would have left a freaking note saying where he is?
Funny stuff, dude. Like,
but yeah, they do humanize.
Yeah, like they have not every clone. There aren't that many personalities, and there are too many clones.
Yeah.
But like all the clones that we see do have different personalities. We talked about the one who likes to clean his weapon.
Yeah,
Link.
he was quite shy about it.
Yeah.
He was like, I'll probably do nothing.
Yeah, they have insecurities about it. We had Chopper, who was like, we need to bloody have some trophies because why else are we here? We need to take something from them too.
He was like, they've taken so much from us. I mean, a lot of clones have died.
Yes. And this is only like the first part of this war.
Yeah.
I'm struggling to say first year because there are some conflicting information tied to this episode specifically.
Oof, you're going to get to that eventually, I imagine.
I mean, I could say it now, but we should probably continue talking about the clone personalities.
Yeah, so, I was going to say Hunter. Chopper, he's pretty scarred, so I do think he's been through some stuff, though.
He's obviously been through a lot, and he's taking it out on others as well. I learned that specifically.
What?
Well, Chopper specifically is the only one in the bunch who has a backstory.
Really?
Yes.
Is this why you say he was an a-hole?
Yes.
And I was like, well, I know he broke the rules and it's pretty weird, but it's not like he was collecting human fingers.
Not collecting human fingers, but there was another thing, much like the Gungan whatever in the Lucas learning thing that I learned about last episode. Yeah. This time I learned that on StarWars.com there were prequel comics for every episode of Clone Wars.
What?
Yes.
Is this what the Star Wars manga was?
I don't think so.
I would like to see these comics.
I would like to see them too, but I didn't manage to track them down. I think there is a way to access them via Internet Archive.
Yeah.
But since Flash was disabled, is no longer supported, I don't think that it's possible to open them.
It won't be available on Wayback Machine.
Yeah.
That's sad.
They might be stored somewhere. I checked my usual read comic stuff, but I didn't manage to find it.
Yeah.
I will look a bit more because they're probably not great, but every little bit of insight counts.
Oh yeah.
But this one in particular, comic issue called Shadowed.
Oh, Shadowed.
Yeah, it has General Loathsome on the cover.
Whoa. Are you sure you didn't get confused between Playboy magazine with General Loathsome on there?
Yeah, he's very sexy. He looks like one of those prehistoric hippo things with their super long snout.
Yeah. He looks like a whippet.
I don't know what a whippet is.
There's a species in Star Wars. They're the ones with a really long. It definitely won't be.
Oh, is it the guys with Is it one of the guys that was in Jabba's palace?
I think so. Yeah, they're furry and they've got the long thing.
Page 37. Oh look, there's Jupa from Celos.
Oh my god!
There's the big bongo.
The big bongo.
That we talked about literally less than an hour ago.
Yeah.
And here's Rogue named Gore.
We gotta get to the the whippet.
Oh, that's not what I thought the whippet was. I thought the whippets were the ones with they were more hunched over with the big cloak. But that's not important right now.
No, but General Loathsome. So he was in Shadowed.
He was in Shadowed, but not the one bit of information I have about it, which was about a little troop of clones that chase away some droids that were the droids that were discussing whether or not to put crippled Christophsis soldier out of his misery.
Whoa, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, and when the clones...
Prequel comic for a kid's show? Fuck.
Yeah, And when the clones save him, Chopper is like, this wouldn't have happened to you if you weren't such a coward. And then he tosses a droid leg at him and is like, use this as a crutch, you bitch.
What?
He doesn't say you bitch, obviously. But
yeah.
That's kind of
he says,
like,
you Juba.
Yeah, something like that.
Jesus, okay. What a dickhead.
Yeah.
That's not cool.
Not at all.
I feel like that is a thing, though, in, like, clone culture. That if you get wounded, or, like, if you get left behind, or don't want to fight, you're a coward, or you have no honor, or you have no, like, spine.
Well, they're bred for combat, like...
Yeah, it makes me... I mean, considering they were sort of raised mostly by Kaminoans, who love eugenics, are racist as fuck, and probably don't have the best moral compass. It makes you wonder how they were raised. Yes. What were on those computers that, like, the young clones were, like, bit-bopping?
Yeah, bloody... let's not get into that.
Yeah.
But at least some of them were friends with 99, who I won't spoil who it is.
Yeah. That is, I'm like an actual defective clone. You can tell because he's got the classic skin color still, the facial features. Even
though he's a hunchback and can't do much.
Yeah.
But he tries.
Yeah, I mean, if he wasn't a hunchback, he could like probably do some like leisure activities like archery or
going off with his fellow mutated friends.
Yeah, imagine.
And have, like, hyperspace reflected in his eyes.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool. Maybe
pretty
99
cool.
has never been off-world.
Yeah, maybe he never meant Saw Gerrera. Meant.
Ooh. But yeah, bloody Chopper is called a defective clone. By not Slick, is it?
It was probably Slick.
Yeah.
Actually, it may have been Cody.
No, I think Slick says, I always knew there was something deficient about you. Which is a kind of a dick thing to say.
It really is.
Like, self-contained in the episode. That is a bit of a mean thing to say to Chopper, because, I know he was stealing droid fingers, which is a bit f***ing weird.
Like in Earth terms, that would probably be like collecting ears.
Yeah, which ain't cool.
No.
But that means that they were fine with him saying that shit to the Christophsis soldier. But it was this collecting droid fingers that breaks the f***ing rules. This crosses a line, which sort of tells you what you need to know about clones, maybe.
Their culture is a bit strange.
I don't think it's their fault necessarily.
Yeah, again, they were bred to be that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, and speaking of like...
Because they speak of bread.
We've already talked about food.
Yeah.
Speaking of defective qualities.
Ooh.
That was actually one of the things that Dave Filoni was very happy about this episode kind of touching up on.
Really?
Yeah, the personalities, some of which might be kind of defective. Because the thing that Filoni himself said was that some clones might have the tendency to, and I quote, go Django.
You mean they want to become a simple man finding their own way in the universe?
More so that they will do literally anything for the right price.
That is true. Django, he sort of did sell his entire genome.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't
think that's by far the worst thing he's done.
No, he's killed a lot of Jedi. Oh, the worst thing he did is kill Coleman Treble.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, that's the worst thing.
That's basically like whatever the Roman general's name was that stabbed Jesus.
I don't think it was a general. I think it was just a Roman legionnaire.
Whichever.
Yeah. With a spear of destiny.
Yeah. Does that mean that Django's blasters are like the most sacred thing that exists?
What did happen to those blasters?
I'm not sure.
A certain point of view?
Maybe Rex picked them up, which is why they can like one-shot the giant eel koths on the Rishi moon. Eel koth.
Eel koth.
Eel koth is a reference to the scrapped name for Bodhi rookies.
Yeah, it was going to be in the thumbnail, but it just didn't look right.
Yeah, Freddy did make it, but yeah.
Didn't look right. I can imagine, like, with Jango Fett is a lot more freedom-seeking than... is like kind of the polar opposite of what the clones needed to be programmed for. Like, they were programmed for complete obedience.
Basically. I'm not sure what, the personality, how personality works. I guess, maybe assume that Boba Fett might be similar personality to Jango, but we don't really know.
He's an untampered clone.
Exactly, so maybe they try to erase all of Jango's personality from all of the clones, which is why all of them are different.
I think it's possible. As well, they clone Jango for his physical capabilities, his tactical mind. So they don't want to take too much of Jango away.
Oh my god, that's literally what they do with Big Boss in Metal Gear.
Oh my god. It all goes back to Kojima.
That, but ironically.
Yeah. So I think that's why, the inhibitor chip, that can be there without raising flags, because you need to control the Jango in clones somehow. Because otherwise, they're just gonna...
I don't think they knew about the chips anyway.
Well, I don't think the Jedi needed to know about the technicalities of how it worked.
If they did, they would probably stop it.
Yeah.
And I'm not even talking about bloody Order 66.
No, but they did know, and they did nothing in the end. In the end, when they found out everything, they were just like, well, it's too late, we've got to cover this up. Don't tell the Chancellor under any circumstances. Wow. It's like, well, shit. I think Lama Su. Is it Lama Su?
I think so.
Who's the Prime Minister?
Let's just say Lama Su. It doesn't matter.
The Prime Minister, Mr. Prime Minister, tells Obi-Wan that they were programmed for complete obedience, which does sort of imply some kind of technical thing.
Yes.
Rather than taking bits out. I don't know.
Maybe it's a bit of both.
Bit of both? Yeah.
Both is good.
Yeah, which is all interesting, I think. Yeah.
And I do like that that they call it going Jango or Jangoing. They didn't call it that, but Dave Filoni did discuss putting the word McClunky into Mandalorian.
I wish.
So I wouldn't be surprised if this was something that he said as well.
Who voiced Greedo saying McClunky?
I think that was from the original footage.
Really? Oh, so that was...
Yeah, I think it was just another piece of footage that they didn't put into the final cut.
That's
but they
crazy.
Just elongated that sequence a little bit.
Yeah. I didn't realise. That's kind of cool.
So if George Lucas's wife never recut the first Star Wars, it would have been a worse film, but it would have McClunky.
I just kind of realised why the special editions exist.
Why?
Because George Lucas's wife wasn't there to rein in the editing because they got divorced.
Oh yes.
So that's why the sequel. The special editions exist actually. And I am going to check when they got divorced. Because if it's... When did the special editions release?
90s, I think.
1997?
Maybe?
So, George Lucas' wife. What did I say? So, George Lucas got divorced with his first wife in 1983. Leaving him free reign to edit the special editions in the 90s.
Wow.
I was kind of hoping... It was going to be 1986 or something, so it would be fuck you. It was I'll edit them myself.
Fine, I'll do it myself.
Yeah.
Is George Lucas the Thanos of Star Wars?
Whoa.
It kind of makes it seem like they got divorced because she really hated Return of the Jedi.
Return of the Jedi wasn't out yet, was it?
83.
83.
Came out in 83.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Whoops. Forgot when my favourite Star Wars movie came out.
Certain point of view in only 2 years.
I'm actually excited for that.
Yeah, it's both of our favourite Star Wars,
Yeah.
Half of it will probably take place in Jabba's palace.
I hope not, because Tales of Jabba from Jabba's palace exists already.
But it isn't canon.
It's not canon. Imagine I really fucking hate this Star Wars movie. I divorce. Reason for divorce. Ewoks.
Speaking of things that are no longer canon, do you want to continue on this line, or do we want to discuss the timeline things that I touched upon?
I actually want to hear about the timeline thing.
Yes, well, you see, there was this...
We talked about last episode about how our timeline theory was confirmed. And now...
Well, sort of. Because last time we talked about the issue of the Clone Wars comic, where it's stated that the Battle of Korm, which takes place a little bit after Malevolence, but before we see Wolf again, takes place roughly a year after the start of the Clone Wars. And we know that was supposed to be canon because it was written by the same writers as the Clone Wars show, and came out roughly around the same time. And, or should I say, but...
Oh,
there was a novel based on Clone Wars named Clone Wars Wild Space.
Yeah.
Which claims that the Clone Wars movie takes place 7 weeks from the start of the war.
No. That's ridiculous. 7 weeks.
7 weeks.
That actually is ridiculous. I don't think that can be true.
Yeah, like, you know.
Like, I'm not just saying that because it breaks my fan canon. You know, like, oh my god, why Snoke not freaking Max Rebo? Movie ruined. I'm not talking about it like that. I mean, besides the fact that Max Rebo's obviously Snoke, why... What, 7... Did you say 7 or 6?
7 weeks.
7 weeks is just too short. Like, I don't know.
To be perfectly fair to this, we don't get a perfect timeline to when the Battle of Korm is, but it's definitely not like more than a year after this, because the whole war only takes 3 years.
But can you imagine if, like, okay, yeah, so Clone Wars movie, Hidden Enemy, and Cat and Mouse, they take place 7 weeks after Attack of the Clones, but every other episode in season 1, that happens after a year. Like, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, like a few months, sure, because like Anakin and Ahsoka already have like an established dynamic.
Yeah, but like an entire year, that's complete friggin' big bongo crap.
Big bongo crap. Indeed.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like to be fair, like neither of these things are canon anymore. But that being said, this was going to be, and by this, I'm pointing at my phone. That could literally be anything.
Yeah.
The Battle of Korm was going to be an arc in the Clone Wars.
Yeah.
Whatever happens in Wild Space, I don't think it was. So one of them was a little bit more closer to the intended thing than the other.
I think, so the Korm thing, I think you said yesterday is on par with Crystal Crisis, but I think it's more on par with being like the Dark Disciple of Legends.
Pretty much. Because they had to cut it for like time and budget.
Yeah,
reasons.
like, so Dark Disciple eventually was.
But wasn't Dark Disciple like an arc just like Crystal Crisis?
Yeah, it was, but that was not in a novelized form.
Yes, but there were some reels made for it.
Yeah.
It wasn't quite as far into production as Crystal Crisis was, since you say that like all the voice work for it was done.
Yeah, Crystal Crisis was pretty much finished by the animation. So same with Bad Batch. I can't remember. I think there's some bits of like the Kashyyyk arc that are finished.
Some of Ahsoka's Walkabout.
Yeah, that will finish. Some of the arc with
Boba,
yeah.
Boba!
With Cad Bane. Some of that was finished.
I wish it was.
Yeah, it was going to be cool. They were like defending a village from Tusken Raiders.
Did they actually do Magnificent?
They do Magnificent 7.
Before then, yes,
yeah,
I know.
But
I was going to say, did they actually do it twice?
I don't think they did it twice, because I'm pretty sure at the end of Magnificent 7, Yul Brynner and the guy from The Great Escape don't fucking shoot each other.
No, they don't.
So, yeah, that would be a weird end to the movie.
Maybe that's what happens in the remake from like a couple of years ago.
Apparently it's not terrible.
Apparently it's not terrible, but you know, it's not a classic.
I don't think Magnificent Seven is very good anyway. I think it's fine.
I saw it a couple of years ago and I'm like, why is this a classic?
It's got good music.
I guess.
But
the characters are kind of paper thin. One of them wears gloves.
Oh, is that the sharpshooter one?
I don't know.
I don't know. I know Bernardo. Like the kids are like Bernardo when he spoilers f***ing dies. Zing zing zing. Yeah.
Who cares?
Who cares?
It's not Star Wars. It doesn't matter.
Goddamn. That's true about everything in life.
We are being sarcastic.
Are we?
I wasn't.
Okay, so we talked about the timeline theory.
Yeah, and we kind of disregarded it.
Yeah, it was like cherry picking canon now. What are we?
We're cherry picking
Legends,
legends, to be fair.
Yeah.
None of this is canon.
So maybe when we become writers for any Star Wars property, we just like casually put in there how the Battle of Christophsis is concluded a year after.
Oh, yes.
Or Rota of the Hutt was kidnapped a year into the Clone Wars. And bam, 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 we've basically canonized our theory.
If bloody Dave Filoni does a Q&A at any point, like, I would... This should be, like, the first thing that I put in.
No, I would ask, but in a very loaded question. So, like, how far do you agree that Rota of the Hutt was kidnapped a year into the Clone Wars so it doesn't break canon? And then if he says... He was actually kidnapped 7 weeks after. Like, oh my god, Dave Filoni breaks canon! And then that would be headlines. And then I'll feel good about myself because Dave Filoni just got owned. And like Brie Larson would have to like expose herself, like, you know, like Scooby-Doo, and then take off the latex mask.
Kathleen Kennedy takes off the mask and she's actually Ventress!
Oh my god, the hairless harpy herself! I'm joking, by the way.
Yes.
But would like some confirmation that it happens a year into the Clone Wars, because that's the only way it makes sense in my eyes.
I would also like to know what happened to Rota the Hutt, but, you know, my headcanon is that we might find out in the book of Boba Fett.
Yeah, I hope
or
so.
Mendo Season 3, but that's less likely.
Yeah, I think it's far more likely to even somewhat be mentioned in Book of Boba Fett.
We will see in about 7 months.
Yeah, we will. Maybe they kill them in Bad Batch.
That's less likely, but why not?
What if Bad Batch is just going to be like the 70-minute first episode is going to be like, okay, we're the Empire now, so what we're going to do is that we're going to kidnap Rota the Hutt, so the Hutts will have to obey ourselves. And the Bad Batch are like, you know, I'm all for the murder and all that, but kidnapping a child, no way.
What if Omega is Rota the Hutt?
I was thinking that. I was going to like say, what if like, you know like how gods have like avatars?
Yes.
What if like Rota the Hutt's avatar is Omega?
We have too many gods at this point. Why is Rota one of them?
Not in our pantheon.
So far, who would be like the On Air-Deraan gods? Claude, obviously.
No, Claude is a servant.
Oh, Santa Claus, yeah.
Yeah, he's a servant of Big Oppo.
Oh yeah, I forgot about Big Oppo, obviously.
Who's the Jesus? Coleman Treble.
Obviously,
because
he died for his sins.
He died.
Yeah.
Full stop. Yeah.
Satan is not Kathleen Kennedy.
No. We'll probably...
Cara Dune, maybe?
I feel like we should distance ourselves. We'll figure out who's Satan.
Yeah.
A fallen angel. Who is the... Yeah.
Someone we used to love but don't anymore.
Yeah.
Dave Filoni directed live action.
Maybe. George Lucas.
Dave Filoni, Satan confirmed.
J.J. Abrams. Where he's like, in JJ we trust. That was when he was Lucifer. And then when he directed episode 9, that's when he became Satan. That was his fall.
Yeah, it's from We Trust to Jar Jar.
Yeah, God. No one really says Jar Jar Abrams anymore. That's probably a good thing, because it sounded kind of dumb.
Yeah, and also we like Jar Jar now.
We do. On the record, Jar Jar's a better character than J.J. Abrams.
Ahmed Best unironically better than J.J. Abrams.
Ahmed Best is the best.
Indeed.
He's a cool guy. A canon Jedi.
Indeed.
So that's pretty cool. And I've always interpreted the Jedi Trials TV show to be like High Republic.
I never watched it, so I don't know.
Well, it's like the droid looks like a High Republic droid.
I have no idea. Didn't it sell like 2 years ago?
Huh? I thought it came out last year.
The Trial of the Jedi? I don't know.
No, I thought it came out last year. It's like, I was going to say like Jungle Run, but you won't know what that is.
I don't.
Yeah, I know, that's what I mean. But it's just like a...
Like Legends of the Hidden Temple?
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, exactly like that, but Star Wars. So, that's fun.
Legends of the Jedi Temple?
Or just Legends.
No, it's canon.
Whoa! A Star Wars expanded universe?
Star Wars Freemaker?
Yeah, bloody EU Star Wars referendum. Bring back Thrawn!
No, it's someone trying to leave the expanded universe and become Legends.
Oh, no, Legends is the expanded universe.
Oh, I thought that the new canon was the EU.
Or no, but it's not really called the EU anymore, is it?
What does it call? Is it just the
Star Wars
canon?
canon.
Oh, fair enough.
To like differentiate it, because like back when Legends was canon, it was called the expanded universe.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's not. Now it's Legends. They should publish more Legends stuff.
They don't really care about it anymore.
They published a brand new Marvel series comic, didn't they, last year?
Oh yeah, I think they did. Yeah,
which is pretty cool actually that they did that. So that's the first like continuation of a Legends property under Disney.
They should have released a certain point of view under the Legends banner.
Just because you don't like Aunt Beru.
But that's literally what it is. It's things that may have happened, but maybe not necessarily didn't.
No, but it can be. You can have a Legends thing that's part of canon. But Legends isn't Legends in Star Wars. Legends is just not canon. It's just a polite way of saying your Star Wars stuff isn't the real Star Wars anymore. Which I've got nothing against that, by the way. But maybe we should continue talking about hidden enemy.
Maybe we should come back to the hidden enemy.
Do
you have anything cool that you want to bring up?
I want to talk about how the droids just cleaned house at the very start of this episode.
Oh yeah, they were like more capable than ever.
They were menacing, I would say. They were just like, when everyone realised what's happening, the plan isn't working, and they hear bong, and the lift doors open, and the droids just immediately start killing clones everywhere.
Yeah.
And you don't see that many droids getting killed either. You just see them like walking over the clones' dead bodies while they continue to rapid fire against everybody. I
guess that the droids have the firepower and the numbers, but not necessarily the tactics. When the clones don't have the advantage of having the tactics, they're just gonna get mowed down.
Maybe that's why the tactical droid was there. Because, how droids are, sort of a hive mind. Mm-hmm. Kind of, but, not entirely. Maybe the tactical droid needs to be there to help them, know the best thing to do.
Yeah, like a node for, calculations.
Yeah, the tactical droid will know, okay, the best thing to do now is go in this building, flank them this way. But when you don't see the tactical droids, like at the Battle of Christophsis in the movie, you don't really need one, because it's just attack.
Yeah, just stand in a grid, walk forward, and shoot forward.
Exactly, yeah.
Which is what they usually do.
Yeah. So I think maybe that's why the tactical droid was there.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. We
solved Star Wars.
We solved Star Wars, as we did with the holograms.
Yeah. And just how David Guetta solved racism.
I was hoping you weren't going to say that. Yeah. So that's something I thought was pretty cool.
Pretty cool indeed. And it did help that they were shot in a very good way.
They were, yeah.
This, animation was probably better in Trespass, but the cinematography in this episode,
that's very good too.
like one scene that I especially really like rewound a couple times to look at it was when the clones retreated to the roof, and they were waiting for the clone pilot Hawk.
I wrote his name down.
Yeah, and there's a zoom away from the clones that are defending their position, and over Anakin and Obi-Wan just slicing through them. Zoom out, slight shift around the Jedi, and zoom in into the elevator that more droids are coming out of.
Yeah, thought that was really cool.
Pretty cool, actually.
Unironically, I keep saying unironically, but like, do you think that the fight scene at the start of this episode is one of the best we've seen in Clone Wars? Is that a hot take? Is that one of the best droid-on-clone ones?
Yeah, partially because Obi-Wan, even though he's there, doesn't do that much.
Yeah, it's like, you don't see, like in bloody Defenders of Peace, like the fight scene was cool, but it was mainly just like droids marching forward and then getting killed.
Yeah.
Whereas, like in the movie, it was pretty cool, it was pretty big, but still just droids marching forward, clones shooting and then charging and dying. That's the like formula. Like you got pretty good looking ones, well shot ones. But like this is like the one that's just like lots going on. It's cool.
Yeah. If we talk about like fight scenes or like action scenes in general, like it would probably have to go to something that involves space because they're really good at it.
Yeah, no, I meant like on ground.
On Air-Deraan.
No! So ground error.
I'm going to cut both of these out. Yeah, if we're talking about on-ground battles, there isn't... as you said, like droid on clone, drone on cloyne, cloyd, clod. What am I doing?
What are we doing? What even is this podcast?
This is podcasting.
Now
this is podcasting.
To plug.
Yes.
As you were saying,
it was good.
It was good,
and I really liked that little plan that Anakin had, that it was like, call the reinforcement, but to the other tower.
Yeah, the pickup, the gunship on the other tower.
Yeah.
And it's like, gonna zip line. Rest in peace, that clone that f***ing died.
I think there were at least 2 of them that got shot while they were rappelling down.
Yeah, and the thing is that they weren't dead when they were shot off. So they fell a long way.
Yeah, hopefully impact was a quick and
yeah, I'm not sure if it was. I mean, you gotta be falling for like at least a couple seconds, and in that time you're like thinking about your 10 years of life building up to this moment. A lot of people die in Clone Wars, don't they?
They sure do.
But considering the age range, like of the viewer base, it's gonna be around 10 years old. These clones are also 10 years old.
Oh no.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Do clones formulate their memories at the same time as humans? Like normal humans?
I'm not sure what you mean.
Like, humans develop their first memories at 4 years old. Around that time.
I would say that in clones it would be like 2.
Okay, yeah. Because it's like, time, your lifespan's on like ×2 speed.
Yeah.
×2 playback speed.
Which is how I watch many things.
Oof.
Saves time. I would assume that they want to that the Kaminoans would probably want the clones to start forming memories even sooner.
Yeah.
To memorize all the tactics and protocols and everything even faster.
Yeah, that's true. I got a feeling though, like as the Clone Wars was happening, they started pushing out younger and younger clones.
That does make sense.
Like with the rookies.
Like with the rookies. I don't know how young they were.
Maybe 8 or 9?
Probably. They didn't look like teenagers, but then again...
what did they look like as teenagers?
I don't know. They did look younger. They did look older than Boba.
Yeah. Well, how old's Boba going to be? He's like 10 years old.
Yeah, he's probably
like... Right, yeah, he's the same age as all the other clones. But
he's the same age as some of the older clones, probably.
Yeah, but... So he would have been one of the first ones made.
I would assume so.
But he doesn't have accelerated aging, so... That's like kind of the weird thing where he doesn't. He definitely doesn't.
Not accelerated aging, but we don't know that he doesn't have anything.
Yeah. But it's kind of weird, like, seeing the contrast between all the clone troopers we see fighting, dying, attacking the clones, and then Boba Fett, and they're the same age.
Many of them are younger.
Yeah, a lot of them.
Yeah. Pretty much all clones are younger than Ahsoka.
That's kind of weird.
Yeah.
But, yeah, most of them die.
Mm-hmm. Not all of them. Not
Most
Rex, because he has Jango Fett's pistols of destiny.
I'm 99% sure they're not.
Yeah, I'm 100% sure they're not.
Yeah.
I don't think he was there anyway.
No, Rex might have been on Geonosis. He never said anything to the contrary.
That is true.
Cody wasn't on Geonosis.
I wouldn't know.
Yeah. Because he says it.
Does he?
Yeah, he says it in the second Battle of Geonosis. I think it is cool that we see... I keep dropping my phone! It is cool that we see... I casually like saying my next line immediately after I shout, so you can't get it out, so you're welcome. It's cool that we see the Christophsis militia.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, one of the people did get crippled and are then yelled at by the clones.
Yeah. I think we see more Christopher Robbins, with Ewan McGregor. We see more of them in like comics.
With Robin Williams from Hook.
But like, we don't really see that many. I do know they get enslaved or something after.
Yikes. Yeah, we don't see a lot of them at all. Like, I'm fairly sure that all of them, or at least most of them, were only seen in the reels at the beginning.
Yeah, that was the only time. We see a lot of civilians in that, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, getting killed. Well, actually, that was probably militia. But we do get quite the better sense of, like, Christophsis. At least architecture.
Like, it is an inhabited planet, which is kind of interesting.
Yeah, like in the movie, we basically only saw like the highway or the square, whatever those places were.
Yeah.
And in this, we go inside the trade center, I think. It's probably not trade center, it's probably because it was like 2 skyscrapers. And we see like a library.
Yeah, which is like Ventress throws books at Obi-Wan with the Force, which is kind of cool.
It looks like the only place in the universe that's more Art Deco than Coruscant.
Yeah. I do like Christophsis, and I think it would be cool to see it more, because it is like like they made the buildings out of the large crystal structures.
Yeah.
Apparently, kyber crystals also can be found on Christophsis, and it's one of the things the Empire sought after in the Imperial era, and apparently, so like the Spectres. The rebels from Star Wars Rebels, they raided a convoy that was going to Christophsis, and because of that, I'm pretty sure the Empire persecuted the Christophsins for that. So
I wonder if Christophsis was going to get a similar treatment as Ilum.
Maybe, I don't know. I just want to read this. Like, rebellious elements traced by the Galactic Empire to the planet Christophsis were found to be responsible for the theft of some medical frigates. That's how they get them in like the Rebel Alliance fleet, I'm guessing. Mm-hmm. And then because of that, the Empire executed the Prime Minister.
Oh, jeez.
And pacified the city of Tophan, which might be the one that's I don't think... No, it's not the one that's defended.
I don't think so either.
It appears in Princess Leia of Alderaan.
Oh, the new...
Well, it's not new.
Oh, is it an old book?
No, it is a canon book, but it's not new. It came out like 4 years ago.
Yeah. Well, there are a bunch of like Leia, and I think there's a whole trilogy of Padme books.
There's a trilogy of Padme books, yeah.
By E.K. Johnson, I think.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Is that the person who wrote the X-Wing books? I keep forgetting.
No, it's not. It's the person who wrote the Phasma book, right?
Oh, the bad one.
Well, I've never read any of them. No, but Kevin J. Anderson hasn't written any canon books.
Kevin J. Anderson, yeah. That's who I mixed up E.K. Johnson with.
Yeah, apparently...
Kevin James Anderson.
Around the Battle of Jakku, some people, some pilgrims of the Church of the Force went to Christophsis to recover to return stolen kyber crystals, because the kyber crystals are holy to the people of Christophsis, like they worship them.
I want to know more about that goddamn church.
What, the Church of the Force?
Yes.
Yeah, it's interesting. That's the one that that Chirrut Imwe and Baze Malbus are part of.
I think that there is a book about them, and the new the free comic book day rather is like an excerpt from that.
Yeah,
I've never read that. I don't know why.
Apparently, the book's all right.
That's the problem with many
tie-in books.
They're only all right.
I know the comic prequel, like the Cassian Andor K2SO prequel comic thing, is meant to be good.
I didn't.
You didn't think so?
Mm.
I like the name of the planet. It began with a W that they went to, the one with the market. I can't remember what it's called now. I look like an idiot.
WAP.
Wow. No! This isn't going to become one of those. But let's move on to, for unrelated reasons, to Asajj Ventress. Asajj Ventress does her little undressing thing, and Obi-Wan Kenobi's eyes are definitely not looking at her lightsabers. They're looking elsewhere. And why do they keep animating that? Someone spent friggin' minutes animating that.
Oh, more than minutes.
More than minutes. Maybe an hour.
Maybe even a day or so.
A day just animating Obi-Wan Kenobi checking out Asajj Ventress.
Definitely.
I don't understand.
It's something for the dads, I guess.
No,
that's what I said
weird.
In the movie. It is weird. I don't know how to feel about it.
Yeah, and I felt like you know how when you're watching something and you can tell it's really awkward for someone else in that situation, and you sort of feel awkward on their behalf. Yeah, I felt that for Anakin, who was standing there, listening to Obi-Wan saying "my sweet" and "my dearest," and Asajj Ventress doing a flood "oh my dear Obi-Wan, I only want you," and then Anakin is should I leave you guys alone?
Also, spoilers. Doesn't really go anywhere, does it?
No, it never comes back. I'm pretty sure. Do they ever fight again?
They probably fight again, but I don't think they have that kind of an interaction.
Yeah, it's what was the point? Maybe they do on Kamino. I can't friggin' remember.
We'll see next season, maybe?
Friggin' year!
Yeah.
Kamino's season 3, I believe.
Well, oh yeah, you're right, because the freaking Fives and Echo have to come back twice.
Yeah, twice. One in a prequel that's canonically possibly the first episode. I don't friggin' know.
I don't know. Well, I do know that it's really weird that everything concerning Christophsis comes out in reverse order.
Yeah, because this is the second. This comes out. Sorry, this is set before the movie, and then season 2 has Cat and Mouse, which is set before this episode that's set before the movie.
Why are they doing this?
I don't know. It's kind of, yeah.
It's just like how we determined that Rookies takes place during Series 3.
Yeah, I know. What? So friggin' dumb sometimes.
Or before it also.
It takes place before season 3, I think. Yeah, because
Yeah.
season 3 starts off with Kamino. So that means Rookies has to take place before Kamino. Otherwise, they've just like been on-off trying the Battle of Kamino for like ages, which I kind of don't believe, because surely Grievous has been doing other things.
Yeah, and he's smarter than this.
Yeah,
he's failing, but mostly because he's used to better troops than freaking battle droids.
Yeah, like we say in
Spunkstone.
No, we say that in Grievous. Oh no, but that wasn't Spunkstone. No!
Why does everything keep coming back to the Spunkstone?
So basically, at one point, Dooku is ragging on Grievous for being so shit. And Grievous is like, I'm actually good. It's like these battle droids don't fucking think for themselves. And it's like, yeah, I shouldn't. So, I don't think he said that. I think he did his classic, oh, Bob, you're breaking up, Duke.
He did not do that. I'm pretty sure he just... I think that time he just slammed the thing.
No, he slammed it when he was in his stronghold. He slammed it and said, oops. So that's the canonical Grievous saying oops. Which, yeah, that exists.
Were we looking for that? I don't know.
Well, it's the voice line we We didn't need, but we deserved.
I guess.
Or the other way around, you decide.
Yeah, tell us at On Air-Deraan.
All one
Twitter,
word.
All one word. Email us.
On Air-Deraan at gmail.com.
It's in the description of the episode and everything. But yeah, by all means, subscribe and hit that bell.
Yeah, but we've still got to go through this episode. Is there anything else you wanted to say? Because I have some more time things.
I don't think that there was anything else that I really picked up on, other than Hawk, the clone.
Yeah.
Who isn't super important, but is reoccurring.
Does he appear in Zilla Beast?
I don't think so. He appears on Umbara.
Oh!
And he appears at least 1 or 2 more times, but I don't remember when.
You know the clone gunship pilots aren't going to die when they've painted their helmets.
Yes.
Because that means they're going to appear again, because that takes time.
Oh, but speaking of painted helmets...
Ooh.
Have you noticed that no one could freaking decide what Cody's rank was in this episode?
I have heard that this is a thing.
Yeah, a couple times because of like some editing mishaps. Some lines that were meant to be set to Rex were set to Cody.
Oh,
instead.
like Captain.
Captain, and also he was holding the wrong helmet for some scenes which wasn't painted.
I didn't notice that.
Yeah, he was called Captain at least twice.
Oof.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a bit of a downside.
Yeah, I don't know how these things happen, but it did happen.
Yeah.
It's probably because people who animate don't have the voice lines yet.
I would hope they do. No, they must do, because as we've seen with the reels for like Crystal Crisis and Bad Batch, they have the voice lines and they animate to it.
I don't know.
I don't know. But I did want to I'm not going back to Ventress, but I am.
Go back to the V-plot.
The V-plot. So, does, in your opinion, the V-plot need to be in this episode?
I really do not think it added anything.
Yeah, me neither. The most thing it added is direct setup to the movie.
Yes, which we didn't really need.
Well, because you can sort of imply it by having Slick saying, "Oh yeah, I've gathered my." Well, actually, no. You do need it. Like, you do need overt setup for Anakin and Obi-Wan to know that the attack is coming, so they can then put the big guns on the highway. To happen in a movie.
I guess.
Because if it was a surprise attack, they wouldn't have been prepared.
True. That is true. Well, I mean, fair enough. But we didn't need to know that. We don't need to find out how they found out.
Well, we don't need to see the whole thing with Ventress. Like, why did it have to happen?
To fill out Damon to give us some lightsabery stuff, because there was none last time.
Yeah.
I guess.
Suppose so.
That might actually, unironically be the reason.
Yeah. Because there's not that many episodes of Clone Wars that don't have lightsabers in them.
Yeah, what else is there? Bombad Jedi?
Yeah.
Which was going to have Quinlan Voss in it.
Thank God it didn't.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we did. Have we mentioned that before? I don't know.
It's in the Spunk Stone, so I don't know. I think we did, even outside of that episode.
I'm actually annoyed that everything we talk about is Spunk Stone related.
How is it possible?
I don't know.
How is that the most bloody... Is that the linchpin of Series 1?
Yeah, but...
I mean, that people also showed us a bit more of the Christoph's cityscape and stuff.
Yeah, but I don't know. I got so confused. Like, when we watched the movie, I misremembered that fight scene happening in the movie.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like it would have, but yeah, she wasn't on Christoph's in the movie.
She was kidnapping Rota the Hutt and taking him to Teth.
Yeah, or at least hiding there at that point. Yeah, I don't know. But by the way, speaking of the movie, kudos to this episode's reels for using all original footage.
They did, yeah, of the Christophsis people, the Christophsis people, the
Christophsis buildings.
Yeah, inhabited by Christophsis people.
Droids,
killing
Christophsis people.
Yeah, my favourite. And it's you didn't really need to. You could have just done boom, 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 boom. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, canonically it makes sense because the scenes from the movie haven't
happened, yeah. But that hasn't stopped them before.
That is true. Well, we don't know in what order the things happened. we did have scenes from, once again, Cloak of Darkness from the Spunk Stone in, I think, as early as episode 2, or maybe even in the ambush.
Did we?
Yeah, we had a scene with Luminara Unduli on the bridge.
I think it's possible that Cloak of Darkness happens not long after Malevolence. I think it happens like just after, and then almost concurrently with Dooku captured. Like, while the reason why Anakin isn't around during the what's it called episode, Cloak of Darkness, is because he's looking for Dooku.
It's possible
because Dooku, they know, like, at the end of the Malevolence arc. I forgot about Downfall of the Droid. That must happen at some point. I don't know.
We probably shouldn't go that far into it because it probably doesn't lead anywhere.
And there is a canonical order to this that's on the StarWars.com.
But it does make sense that there is a reason. Yeah, that may be the reason why Ahsoka is with Luminara is because Anakin is captured.
Well, he let himself be captured.
But he was actually captured.
Yeah, he was actually captured. I do want to talk about relating to Clone Wars.
Okay.
is
smooth.
Yeah, so like they were really surprised that a clone would go against their programming, go against their brothers. Mm-hmm. And I was like, what a great time to be alive to link this to the fact that not only Bad Batch exists and is existing soon, but also like Rex breaking Order 66. So like there's lots of things with like clones going against each other, and this sets the seeds.
Yeah, literally, like on the Wikipedia, that is the second thing that Dave Filoni was very chuffed about.
Whoa.
Opening up. And yeah, they said that this episode is meant to be like set up an ominous stone for, if one of them bloody did this, who knows who else can do something against their brethren.
Yeah, so... Yeah, like Rex was prepared to kill his brothers to defend Ahsoka.
Mm-hmm. And I think she convinced him not to.
Yeah, she convinced him not to do it.
Even though they all die anyway.
Yeah, but that wasn't their fault, that was Maul's fault.
Spoilers, but yes.
Like, I mean, I'm being serious. It's going to take 3 years, probably. Minimum. And we've got Star Wars. We're going to be talking about Andor and the Obi-Wan Kenobi show before we talk about the Siege of Mandalore. I'm being serious.
It's a little under 60 weeks if we don't do the new shows, which we will do.
Yeah, so...
Because we like clicks.
And we like Star Wars.
And we're also very fond of Lord of the Rings.
Indeed. To go check out Spotted Slugs. Again, another plug.
I'm putting it in the description again.
Someone watch it, please.
That feeling when Spotted Slugs has about as many views as On Air-Deraan.
Yeah, goddamn, that kind of sucks.
Yeah. Oh well.
But yeah, so like Slick, he's breaking his like suppressing of wanting freedom, suppressing of wanting to think for himself.
Remember that we've seen something like this before.
Yeah, well, we see it later.
Well, our listeners haven't heard it, but remember the bloody Cloak of Darkness?
Oh yeah. They talk about this exact same thing.
Yes, remember the guy who looks like Phoenix Wright, who had exactly the same motivations as Slick, except he isn't a clone?
Yeah, with blonde hair.
Yeah.
And a weird face. Maybe he has a child.
No.
Okay. I'm not getting into that.
Let's not go
What's his name? Garius or something?
Something like that. Let me look him up. Pharaoh Argaius.
Captain Argaius. Commander Argaius of the Senate Commandos was basically like, I don't want to live my life in servitude, so f*** you guys. And that's basically what Slick said. And except he wasn't just, Argaius betrayed his brothers in arms, who weren't his biological brothers, because the Senate Commandos at this time, at the very least, I mean, possibly all through the Clone Wars. At least at this time, they're just normal humans.
I'm going to assume always, but at this time, it's definite.
At this time, it's definite that they're always humans. So Captain Argyles betrayed them, and then Slick betrayed his clone buddies. He got a lot killed at the start of this episode.
Yeah, and by blowing up all of the heavy machinery, he got a lot more of them killed.
Yeah, in the Battle of Christophsis that we see later.
Indeed. And that we've already seen.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah, let's watch it again.
Yeah, next week we'll be rewatching all of the episodes we've seen so far to get it in chronological order, so we can then move on to our Blue Shadow Virus. That's a joke.
Imagine if we did both at the same time somehow.
Oh,
both release and chronological order.
I would die.
Yeah, 2 episodes a week.
Yeah,
maybe it will line up at some point.
Maybe if we were like Star Wars Explained and summed each episode up in like 5 minutes. Imagine doing that, summing up all the interesting things, the moral of the stories, the trivia, in just 5 minutes. Imagine.
Yeah, and bloody, where would we fit all of our good jokes as well?
Yeah, I mean, our zingers.
I mean, that will probably fit into those 5 minutes, but...
yeah, that's true. If you, cut them up. If you just cut them out.
If you cut up all the good jokes we make, it will be probably as long as our News Gun Ray segments.
Oh, God. More specifically, our latest News Gun Ray segment.
Let's not.
Hey, it was an April Fool's, guys! You gotta...
Poo, poo, poo. I mean, I will have like 3 hours to make it and export it, but hey, it might come out anyway.
Yeah, hopefully it'll be worth it.
Because spoiler alert, it's like quarter past 8.
Yeah.
On Valentine's Day.
Valentine's Day.
Let's move on.
Yeah.
Do you have anything else you wanted to bring up?
I think I've gone through most things I've said. I did think it was interesting that the clones had computer time. Like, Chopper. Was it Chopper or was it, the other one?
It was one of the other ones. I think it was Jester, maybe?
Yeah, Jester was like, no, I definitely didn't go on the computers, guys.
The guy who kind of looks like Saw Gerrera.
What?
Yeah, one of the clones looks like Clone Wars Saw Gerrera.
Oh, what, with the goatee?
Yeah.
Yeah. Ooh, a bit of a... What a joker.
Fun fact, I actually have one little thing about him. He doesn't come back, but his model is reused for a different clone in Series 2. That's a bit of trivia.
That's not too egregious, considering they all look the same, and it's not. I don't need to suspend my disbelief to imagine they got the same haircut, because you do actually see 2 of that model in this episode, and let's just say in the same room as part of Slick's squad. And
let's not forget Pegleg Pete and her identical twin with an identical missing leg.
Oh, God damn it. Yeah.
But yes, you were saying about their computer time.
Yeah, I just think that's interesting.
Yeah, what do they do?
Yeah, considering,
download all the newest pin-ups?
Maybe, to, print out.
Yeah.
I think there's, I've had a theory, not a theory, but, this has barely got anything to do with computers, but... in Rebels, when Sabine sprays her thing with one spray can, yet she somehow managed to do this big design.
Yeah.
Well, I think that canonically makes sense. I think this was a headcanon for a Star Wars RPG Fantasy Flight games, game I did. Well, I was in. I wasn't the GM. Where you would have holo paint. Where you would spray it and it would then just do an image, because it's actually these particles can then turn into a colour when put onto the surface and sort of programmed. So maybe that's how the pin-ups are done. Maybe. These ones were humans.
Well, at least near humans. You didn't,
Maybe they have a tail.
Yeah, at least the one that I saw had a lot of clones on them, so...
I didn't see that one. What?
Yeah, there was one...
I hope it's not that image.
It kind of looked like one of Padme's handmaidens. Not like one of them, because obviously. But certain, similar clothing style.
Oh. It's kind of weird.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's kind of, I don't want to say brave, but like bold of them to put pin-up girls in a kid's cartoon.
I mean, they're not that egregiously,
Some of them are.
Not that much, surely.
For a show targeted for 8 to 10-year-olds.
Surely they're not less clothed than Ventress.
Ventress was more clothed in this episode.
Yeah, she was wearing clothes, but still.
Did they use her ambush model?
I don't think so.
Or did they use her Cloak of Darkness model?
I wouldn't know, I'm afraid.
Yeah. I don't remember. It looked better than in the movie.
Yeah.
This entire thing looks better than the movie.
Probably. Is it just me though, or are the textures like less noticeable? Like less in your face?
Yes, slightly. They tone it down more, but like I've never not been a fan of the textures. I quite like how it's like a painting, how everything's done.
Yeah.
So,
like the skyline definitely was still like a painting.
Oh yeah, and I think it always remains such, but it becomes less noticeable as time goes on.
It's more subtle.
Yeah, which makes me a bit sad, but
more saddle.
Whoa, saddle go over. I've really got to stop.
Like the saddle that's on the back of Globgo Belbalab.
The saddle that's on the Fathier that Rose takes off and then says, now it's worth it. Freeing the alien horses and not the slave children. Yeah,
they show up in the most recent Star Wars mainline comic.
Really? Fabulous?
No, wait, no, that was a Dr. Aphra one.
Yeah. Why?
There's like a racetrack and a guy called Just Lucky is trying to kill someone who's there.
Is his name Just Lucky, or is it like a Star Wars, like Juust?
No, it's like in the beginning there's like credits of all the cast and some of the characters are there.
Yeah.
You have like Kelly Afra, someone else, and Just Lucky.
Oh.
I guess that's like his nickname. It's like, my name is Lucky.
Lucky is a name of clone that has already died, right?
Yeah, that's one of the clones that died on Meriden.
Yeah.
With,
with Flash and Cameron.
That's the one.
Is his name really Lucky? Fucking
yes.
Hell. That's so
ironic.
Yeah, I don't think we know any of the names of the clones that die unless Gus dies.
I don't remember what happened to Gus.
Yeah, I'm just gonna double check if Gus survives.
I really like how long the Wikipedia entries of all these just super inconsequential clones are, because there's a whole Wikipedia entry on their like story which is exactly the same for all of them, and personality which is exactly the same for all of them.
Yeah, it drives my head. Does my head in, sorry. Gus is the one with the goatee on the side. He was in Slick Squad. But, yeah, it does my head in that the new Wikipedia articles, whenever they talk about biography for a character, they basically write about the thing they were in rather than about the character. And it's like, that's not how you should do it.
That's not what biography means.
Yeah, it's just like talking about... It just, like... you got, like, one of the clones in the Clone Wars movie and it just recites the plot of the movie.
Basically.
Just
imagine if, like, one day you went outside and someone just punched you in the face, and instead of your biography talking about how you had to be hospitalized or whatever, they just write about that there was a football match that day and don't even mention you. Yeah,
it's quite like egregiously, these people are not the main characters in their story, in their life, basically.
Yeah. At least they like shortened the Legends entries, which are like twice as long for whatever reason.
Really, they shortened them. I like how the Legends entries were.
Well, for these inconsequential people.
No, but I mean, like, generally. Like, because the Legends ones, at least they didn't, when I was, like, big on, like, deep diving into Wikipedia, they didn't just recite the plot. They just talked about the actual characters.
It depends, like, clone for clone. And, like, I think they removed the personality a bit, because these guys don't really have much of it.
Yeah, there's no point. But they have it for canon.
No, they are in Legends, not in canon.
Okay, that's good then. Indeed.
Speaking of things that are good, then. Moving on is good.
Yep.
Do you want to do it?
I think we should go into motto rancisis.
Indeed.
It is time. So the motto, the moral of the story is: truth enlightens the mind, but won't always bring happiness to your heart. So, what do you think?
Well, it's not complete nonsense, that's for sure.
It's true.
It's true, but go ahead.
It's like, just because you know the truth, sometimes the truth hurts.
Yeah, and it's probably better to know it, but that doesn't make that it has to make you happy to hear it.
Truth isn't always good.
No.
It's like, okay, they know the truth about the spy, but I mean, it was the head of your squad, so that's pretty shit.
Yeah, kind of like, it's like telling your kids about Santa Claus, like...
Santa Claus.
Santa Claus, yes.
He's like, it's a long story, but basically Santa Claus isn't real. He only exists in some form, but like Captain Rex may or may not have killed him to then inherit the Nick Sant gene.
Yeah, it also may or may not be that guy Luke Skywalker that you probably never heard of. And he's flying around space.
Oh yeah, I forgot that. Luke Skywalker's also Santa Claus.
And he used to be kind of friends with Snap Wexley until he unceremoniously died.
Yeah, rip. Or everyone let it rip at Snap Wexley's wedding.
Yeah, I remember that because they ate some bad fruit or something.
Yeah, and they farted to the end of the day.
I remember us talking about it on the show. I don't remember when, though.
Yeah, probably a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away.
Yeah.
But yeah, back to the motto.
Back to the motto. I don't know, they weren't happy to hear it, but I don't know that it was like that bad. Like,
Do you think it enlightened their minds?
I don't think so, because I don't think they're going to be more wary about like defectors or...
I think they're more aware rather than wary. I think that once they learned the truth that there was a spy, they then learned to look into it.
Mm.
And like, it wasn't good. They were like, that's pretty shit. And then when Slick's troops learned the truth that there was a spy, they became really nervous and sort of unsettled rather. So that is the truth. It didn't bring happiness to their heart that there was someone, that one of them was the spy. So
that's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess this one was alright.
Yeah, I think it works.
There have been worse.
Do you think that applies to this moral of the story applies to our iceberg episode?
Oh, no. Everything that we've unearthed definitely brought happiness to my heart.
And but it still enlightened us.
Yeah, it did both of those good things.
Yeah. I should make one of the memes. That's like the big brain memes. It's like the levels of it. Like at the bottom, it's like Boba Fett has robot feet. God damn. I'm never not going to say that because it's insane.
I feel like the biggest brain was that Django is Luke's dad and Boba Fett is his mum.
Yeah, that's the second lowest, I think. on the iceberg. Oh, f***ing hell.
Well, what about holding hands though?
Oh yeah, that's how you get... We have a lot of big brain moments.
I feel like at some point in my life I should comb through that episode and pick out and cherry pick all the biggest zingers we've said.
Yeah, I mean... I
would die, but
Yeah.
We should pay someone to do it for us.
Oof, imagine getting money.
Imagine paying someone to listen to our podcast.
I looked at our social blade and it says with the amount of views we get in a year's time, we can afford to buy one pack of Amazon's Choice AAA batteries.
But it said that for a month as well.
Yeah, but that was only because we had it activated for a month.
Fair enough.
So, yeah.
It is what it is.
So maybe in a year's time we can afford a pack of 20 AAA Amazon's Choice batteries. Yeah. Or is it AA? Who knows?
It's AAA.
Who knows? I thought that was such a weird way of showing the wealth of our channel.
It really is. It really is.
Really?
We should look up like Mr. Beast and see how
many
batteries he can afford.
Yeah. I just want to go to Tashi Station because of power converters. You know, that's the batteries we're getting.
Yeah. Speaking of Beast, in this episode, the clones were going to have like a droid that they used called the Beast.
What?
Yeah, originally they were going to like use some droids in their battle against droids, but then they figure out like that would get super confusing if it's droids against droids.
Yeah.
And it was going to be like it was going to look like one of those like domes with an arm from A New Hope.
I think I know what you mean.
Yeah. Apparently they're mining droids, but I don't remember them mining anything.
Maybe they're mining for moisture.
Yeah, I think that's where they were. I think they were in the homestead.
Yeah, that's kind of interesting, but I'm kind of also glad it wasn't, because the action scene was pretty succinct, but also very good.
Yeah. It was going to be at the very beginning, so...
Yeah. I think, talking about things that are good...
We should move on to our final segment of the night.
Which is light side.
The dark.
And the one in the middle.
The Bendu. So many clones.
There are a lot of clones.
No, I meant like Bendu.
Yeah, it's a bit, one could say, it's an echo.
Oh, he's not in this episode.
No, but he's in Bad Batch, which is coming out soon.
Very soon.
Very
like
soon.
a month's time.
Yeah. So, what was your light side?
My light side? Well, funny you should ask.
Yeah, it's kind of the whole fucking point.
I really liked, and you know, I had a choice between two.
Ooh.
Both of which we've already mentioned. But I really like any time that the clones are humanized even more.
Yes.
And, you know, we've already heard how all of them are unique in the eyes of the Force. Yeah. Here we see a lot more of it, that all of them have hobbies, they have insecurities.
Yeah.
They have, like, dark secrets that they do.
Like taking fingers and intimidating injured people.
Exactly that. It all serves to make them more human, and that just makes it more tragic that they aren't really treated as such in so many cruel ways.
A lot of them die just all the time, and you're just like, it's just a clone.
Yeah, all that death, all that programming they have to go through.
For what? What was it for? As we later obviously learn in Revenge of the Sith, literally for fucking nothing. Because it was a manufactured war.
Basically.
So...
Yeah, literally, the Republic wins with a push of a button.
Yeah.
That Vader does.
Vader basically says, turn off all the droids, and then they turn off all the droids.
Not all the droids necessarily, because we see that there are some battle droids in the Bad Batch.
I think it might be before Order 66.
It's fairly possible, but I do not know.
So we might see them get like a brain aneurysm. Not the Bad Batch, because they might not have an inhibitor chip, but we might see people just going like, ugh, my brain! And it's like, and then they turn into like total obedient mode. And then the Bad Batch are like, bro, what's going on?
And that's why Tarkin wants to have them killed.
Yeah. Because I know like some people are saying, oh, it's another defection story. But I think they're not going to break away from the Empire. I think the Empire's going to like betray them.
Probably.
That's what I think is going to happen.
Yeah, because like when let's not go into.
No, we're not going to go into that. We'll probably do a speculation video.
Oh, we'll definitely do it
before Bad Batch comes out. I think we're really on track for time now.
Yes,
so.
I think we're freaking back on track.
Back on Josh Trank.
Josh Trank,
yeah,
the director of Fan Stick
and not Episode 9
and Chronicle.
Yeah, Chronicle was meant to be good.
He was not going to do Episode 9. He was going to do Boba Fett.
Oh, it's Chris Terrio who's going to do Episode 9.
No, Colin Trevorrow.
Oh my god, who's Chris Terrio?
I don't know. I was just about to ask you the same thing.
Oh god.
Isn't Chris Terrio like a YouTuber?
Let me have a look. Actually, I need to know.
Okay, pull it up, Jamie.
Don't.
Let me...
he's a writer.
Okay, what did he write?
Apparently he wrote Rise of Skywalker. Well,
I thought that Ryan Johnson wrote and directed it.
No, Rise of Skywalker.
Oh, Rise of Skywalker, even better.
Chris Terrio is the writer he wrote Justice League. He wrote Batman v Superman, Zack Snyder's Justice League, and
what a pedigree.
And also Rise of Skywalker. But he did write Argo, which I really like. I like Argo.
Ben Affleck, yeah.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
So I hear. Gerard's dad really likes it.
No, Justice League isn't a good movie. Neither's Batman vs Superman.
I enjoyed it, but that was mostly because I went on a date on it. To it.
Whoa, to it!
To it.
Yes. How do we get to Chris Terrio?
What's your light side?
My light side is, I have said this before, not in this episode, but elsewhere. It's just like, I like that there's more, like, the implication is that for each of these battles on these planets, you gotta go through the whole slog of fighting city to city. You got the Republic base of operations, you got the Separatist base of operations, and they're just gonna go at it until one of them's dead. And that happens all the time. Like, maybe the Battle of Christophsis never friggin' ended. Like, maybe you just kept on going to the end of the war.
Yeah, maybe Christophsis is going to be the second friggin' Mimban. But just not muddy, because it's all crystals.
Yeah, it's like, I think Battle of Maigito lasted the entire war.
It's fairly likely.
I think there were several battles of Maigito. It's like, there's a lot of, at least in Legends especially, there's lots of battles, or lots of planets that basically were fought over all throughout the war. And I think that's interesting. And I like how even Anakin and Obi-Wan were sort of stationed on these sort of like things. Like, they had to do these kind of, they had to fight on Christophsis for maybe months, or at the very least, like, weeks.
Probably. At least 7 weeks.
So it's not
from the start of the war.
It's not all jumping from planet to planet. It is, so you gotta bog down on Mimban. Get it?
Like Ogdo Bogdo.
Ogdo Bogdo, Big Bongo, and all that jazz. All that jazz. And, so I just like it. That the fact that the fact that there's more going on in Clone Wars, and there's not only an implication, but it's like it is there. It's canon.
Yeah, it's kind of like trenches, but on a much bigger scale.
Trenches,
and I'm not just saying that because Admiral Trench was above Christophsis.
Yeah, in the first episode in the Battle of Christophsis stuff.
That comes out last.
Next season.
I think so, yes.
Yeah, so that's fun.
It's sure gonna be fun.
Yeah, but we're talking about something that's good. What is your dark side?
My dark side... I feel like both of us might have the same dark side for this.
You might steal my V.
Yeah, let me steal your V. I just don't think the B-plot needed to be there. I feel like it actively detracted from, like, the... mystery with the clones.
I agree, because it's like cut from like some cool intrigue to like some cool hand-to-hand or chasing slick to a lightsaber fight. I mean, lightsaber fights are cool, but like I was way more invested in the hidden enemy.
Yeah. It's still better than the mission in the Lego game, which is literally just the B-plot.
Is it only the B-plot?
Yes.
That's not even the cool part.
It has the beginning with the skyscrapers, and then it skips all the intrigue, because you can't really do that in a Lego game with no voice acting.
True. Was the skyscraper part fun?
Yeah, I really enjoyed, like, you remember how the way that Anakin, like, opens the window is like by slashing an X and then the force pushing.
Lots of broken glass this episode.
You get to do the exact same thing.
That's cool.
Anakin does the same thing. But, and at the end there are like so many battle droids on that roof. I forgot how many droids. I forgot how many droids they put into the levels in that game.
Yeah.
It's like swarms. You can't even see the ground over them properly.
I might have to... I've never played it. Apart from a demo, which is the Malevolence train bit.
I think that's the last chapter that I played. I've in the past said that it's probably my favorite Lego game. So far, honestly, I might have to backtrack that. Because
really?
I haven't been having a huge amount of fun with it.
I know the hub is on the Veneto.
It's on the Veneto, but you can also go to the Invisible Hand.
Whoa!
And you actually have to fly over between them. And like depending on which system you're in, there are different things outside.
That's really cool.
And when you're outside, when you're in the place where the Malevolence missions happen,
Yeah.
you know what's outside?
Is it the big red planet?
It's many Nebres.
Yes!
The problem is, if you want to get one of the golden bricks, you have to kill a lot of them.
What? So it encourages mass extinction.
Yes.
Those poor Nebres.
Poor Nebres. They're very poor, but they give you a lot of money if you kill them.
Well, what can I say? Sorry, King No, I'm not. I can't betray him like that. The big Oppo sanctioned King of Space.
Yes, indeed. Well, if you do end up playing bloody Clone Wars Lego, just don't get that golden brick and you'll be fine.
Yeah, don't commit genocide, kids.
Indeed.
Sorry?
Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, did you say there was law implications in the level?
I was going to check if there are, but not really.
Yeah, so there weren't any. Fair enough.
Yeah, like the only implication was that after this she went out to communicate with the scientist from our next episode. But that's probably not even slightly canon, so...
Yeah, Lego games are even lower than like the Freemaker Chronicles.
Yeah.
So that says something.
Yeah. Oh well. Because like the Lego games are just a retelling of something we already know.
Yeah.
Whereas the Freemaker is a cartoonish retelling of a new story that is sort of canon.
Like there existed
exist.
the Freemaker kid. He was real.
What is a Freemaker in that context?
It's just a surname.
Okay, fair enough.
You know, like Skywalker, and he's a good pilot. Well, he's a Freemaker and he makes shit.
I thought that it was like, what Emmett is in the Lego movie, but in the Star Wars universe.
No, I don't think they go that over. I think he makes stuff though, and he tries to get like, is it called the Kyber saber or something?
I don't know.
Yeah, well that's real. That's canon.
Is it like a sword made out of a big kyber crystal?
It's a big crystal lightsaber.
That sounds kind of cool, actually.
I think that's what it is at least. That's
Oh,
it.
well.
Yeah.
Anyway, that doesn't sound bad. What? Do you have something else that you thought sounded
Something
bad?
that I think was bad.
Other than the B plot?
Other than the V plot.
If it was that bad, we can just agree that it was the
I
worst.
do agree that was the worst part. But I feel like it's tradition to say something petty. And you know
Fair
what?
enough.
You know what? I'm gonna say it. I didn't even care that you bring your album. No, the books that Sarge Ventress throws, that's a really cool detail. You know what's not a cool detail? They didn't open when they hit Kenobi. Why didn't they open? Oh, that's so lazy animation. I'm cancelling Clone Wars.
Not only that, but they're all the exact
You're
same.
the exact same. Maybe there's just like loads of copies of like 120-page tiny little books. Maybe it's novelizations for the freaking episode. I'm kidding, by the way. That is probably the most petty thing I've said so far.
Oh no, it wasn't.
Oof. But yeah, I genuinely don't care about the books.
Yeah.
I think it was actually a cool detail that there were books, and that it was implied that the Separatist headquarters is in a public library.
Yeah, we don't get to see physical books all that often. We get the sacred texts in the unnamed movie.
And people say that is the first canon depiction of paper books. And we're like, actually, no. They were in episode 2016 of the Clone Wars, Hidden Enemy, and they were thrown by Asajj Ventress in this sexually charged battle with Obi-Wan Kenobi. And you're a fake fan if you don't know that. So, I hated that sentence.
Well, this was the dark side. This is where hate runs rampant.
Yeah.
How are we at 2 hours already?
We are what?
In 5 minutes.
It was an hour. We went an hour through 5 minutes ago.
I know, right?
What the Okay, time flies when you're talking about Oppo. No, let's say Dark Side one in the middle, the Bendu.
Speaking of the Bendu,
What is your Bendu?
my Bendu
Is
that I like the freaking mix of consequential and inconsequential clones that we get to see.
Oh yes, because that's not usual.
Yeah, we get. Yes, sometimes all of them are just nothing, and one of them appears like one more time, or you have basically just Rex. And this time we have bloody Rex and Cody, like the two most important clones, I guess, or at least the most tenured clones.
Yeah.
You get bloody Hawk, who shows up in like 4 more seasons, and then you have freaking Chopper, who appears in the thing that I didn't even know existed.
Yeah, you have all of the clones in Slick's team.
Yeah, you have Gus, you have freaking Jester.
Joker. Introduce me as Jester. Yeah, I think that's one of my, not a gripe with later seasons, but like, I thought it would be nicer if you had unnamed clones, like getting even like a voice line at times, rather than always, or like you see them with like their helmets off and they speak. Because you don't really get that. Most of the time when they speak or say something that you're meant to actually listen to and it's not like chatter, they're normally a named consequential clone.
Usually Rex.
Yeah, usually it's Rex or Echo or Hardcase or any of those bloody clones.
Speaking of Rex, he's appeared in the last 4 episodes that we've seen.
Yeah, that's pretty cool for Rex.
Yeah. Bloody Rex existing is the new I have a bad feeling about this.
Rex exists?
Yeah. Because we haven't heard I have a bad feeling about this in ages.
Yeah, that is true. And you were worried that they were going to say it every episode.
They did for a stretch. Like, they more often than not, they did in the first half of the season.
Yeah, so I'm glad they didn't.
I don't think we've heard any since like the halfway point of the series.
I can't think. I think it's crazy how far into the series we are.
We're 16 episodes in.
We've only got 2 arcs left.
Yeah,
well, technically we got 2 arcs and a standalone episode.
A standalone episode that ties in with the first episodes of season 2.
Well, it doesn't really tie in, but it introduces a character that's crucial to the first 2 episodes of season 2.
Which is why we're going to be covering it after Bad Batch.
Yeah, because it's got more in common with season 2 than season 1.
Yeah.
But yeah, so we're pretty far into it.
Yeah, and we're very much into it.
We are into it. So,
yeah. What's something that you were into but not necessarily?
Well, I have 2 little details actually that I thought were pretty interesting.
Go for it, nude.
The first
They
thing,
say nude?
God damn it. So, first thing, you know, Slick blew up everything. He blew up the LAATs. He blew up the ATTEs. Rex said that they only have like the heavy cannons left, which is the artillery we see at the start of the movie. Mm-hmm. But you know what? One thing that we physically see didn't blow up, and that's the ATRTs. We see them in the background. They didn't need to include that little detail because we see ATRTs in the Clone Wars movie. And like, that's a nice little detail that Slick didn't blow up the ATRTs, and that's why they used them in the battle.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool.
Dave Filoni has an eye for detail.
Yeah, well the animator. And
Dave Filoni! Not Kathleen...
Well, definitely not her at this point.
Yeah, this wasn't Disney. This was, what was it again? Warner Brothers?
Possibly.
I think it was Warner Brothers.
I can't. Well, it's Cartoon Network.
Well, the movie was Warner Brothers.
Yeah, the movie was Warner Brothers, but the show is Cartoon Network.
Who owns Cartoon Network?
I don't know.
Jimmy?
Stop saying that. I don't like that man.
Me neither, but it's funny to rile you up.
Cartoon Network is owned. It's in the classics division of Warner Bros. Entertainment. Mm-hmm. So, and a subsidiary of AT&T's Warner Media.
I see.
The classic Luke Skywalker, Mark Hamill doing an advert for AT&T.
I don't.
It's in The Simpsons.
I don't.
Oh, you should watch that episode. It's good. It's the one where Homer becomes a bodyguard for Mayor Quimby.
I don't.
Stop! The second detail is... I believe that this is the first instance of the clone theme
Oh.
You know, like the do-do-do, do-do-do, do-do-do-do.
I don't think I picked up on that.
It happens at the end of this episode.
To be honest, I don't have that much of an ear for music, so...
Oof. Well, I'm not good at music, but I listen. I use my friggin' ears. Sorry. But yeah, I think it's the first instance, because I don't remember hearing it in any of the other episodes. And this episode is a lot more clone-oriented. So along with, what's them called? Rookies. Mm-hmm. This is a clone episode.
And as we know, this show might be very much about wars and the Jedi, but clones...
It's a big part of it.
If we discount the... Clones come first.
Yeah. No, the comes first. That's basically... the Anakin we see isn't the real Anakin. It's actually a strand cast called The. Hence why he visually looks nothing like Hayden Christensen.
And that's also why he looks completely different than he used to 7 weeks ago when we last seen him.
That's how he grew his hair so quickly.
Yeah.
It's not 7 weeks!
He spent a little bit too long in the vat, like bloody Echo or whoever that jock, I think Heavy told you, remember in Rookies?
I think it was Echo, yeah.
It was probably Echo.
Yeah, in the birthing, in the test tube.
Yeah. That's why he has so much hair.
Ooh.
That's why he looks so handsome and why he's so much more charismatic than Anakin ever was.
What, the clone? Oh, what?
No,
The, yes. Indeed, that's canon now. It's actually in the encyclopedia.
Yeah, it's right here, on page 69.
Yeah, the what?
Yeah, the page.
It's also in your dictionary. Go to dictionary.com.
Mm-hmm. And type in the.
There you go.
There you go. Page 69 is actually where...
We've looked at this last week.
Oh yeah, we did. Yeah, Jan Dodona is there. No, actually he isn't. No, he is!
We're gonna stop ending the episode by looking at page 69.
No, last time it was the page for eating out.
Yeah, well, we're not gonna say anything cursed like that again. But I think... Basically, Slick's gonna get shot as well.
Yeah, he's gonna get shot. He's not going to go to On Air-Deraan, all one word, on Twitter, and he's not going to go to on space air-deraan on YouTube.
Yeah.
And he's not going to email us at onairderaan, all one word, at gmail.com.
Yeah, he's not going to subscribe or like our videos. He's not going to leave a nice comment. And, well, considering he's not going to get shot, he's definitely not going to give us a shot. But maybe someone else will. Maybe the listener will.
Yeah.
If you've listened to the end of this podcast, made it this far, type McClunky in the comments.
Yes. And please, give us a shot.
Give us a shot of Java Juice. We're tying it back.
But now, we will take a shot of any kind.
You may fire when ready.